Hello everyone, welcome back to my course Smart Contract Web3 Hacking with Python. So in this section we are going to discuss about advanced technique known as fuzzing. It's a very old but it's a very effective technique. So in the if you are finding the fuzzing test fast testing, so mostly you get like monkey tests or many things. So it's like basically fuzzing is we input the random things into the application websites in here smart contract, and we wait for the upper result, so we can define that the application is purely satisfy or not. Because if you are doing a static or dynamic testing stuff, functional testing, the input is input and then the output, the result will be expected. Because if you know that if you input this thing, what will be return tag. But in the first thing is like a random data input into the application. So so the result, the output result is we can expect something like this, because mostly the if you know that the application is secure, if you do the first testing, the application must be fine, show some vulnerability or some loophole in the application. So in the smart contract, they also have a fuzzing testing. So what is smart contract fuzzing? So smart contract fuzzing is a automated security testing technique. It ingests a random, unexpected, or invalid input into smart contract. How to discover vulnerable by simulating real-world attack, mostly using in Ethereum smart contract, but other smart contract are also using, because the fuzzing is the one of the best and secure technique, best and not the secure, sorry, best and effective technique to securing application smart contract stuff. Okay, let's see. Why fast a smart contract? So identifying the unexpected behavior, because we input the randomness and expected characters stuff into the contract, so we can see the unexpected behavior and edge cases from the smart contract. Find the security vulnerability before deployment. If already deployed, you also do those stuff in the bug bounty. Ensure the robustness and reliability is a complement traditional testing method like static analysis. So mostly applications are doing static based and functional based other stuff, but most very few applications are doing the first test. But the first test is very effective. And I'm not saying that you only need to do the first test. You also do every other test, and also you must done the first testing before deploying application. So type of smart contract fuzzing. So it's a coverage guide, grammar based, mutation based, invariant based, and hybrid based. So it's a five type of smart contract fuzzing. So coverage guide. What is coverage guide fuzzing? Coverage guide fuzzing is we use the feedback mechanism to maximize the code coverage. So dynamically adjust the input based on execution path. We create the path to execute the application. This fast testing going for this part to verify the vulnerability of any loophole or any code error in the application. Grammar based sometimes called a rule based, so we predefine the rules for testing. It's most useful in smart contract interfaces and API calls. We make sure, like for example, like we try to confirm that this is ERC20 standard or ERC721 standard, which standard based on this smart contract interface is. So something like that, we have the predefined rules for that. Mutation-based fuzzing. Mutation-based fuzzing is modifying the valid input to generate test cases. So it's effective for logic error and unexpected state changes. Invariant-based fuzzing is very important in smart contract security and bug bounty stuff. So invariant is firstly invariant. Maybe some people know in first time here. Invariant is the properties of the contract. Properties of the contract, which is mean that the contract is like always be true, never false. It's whole always true. It's like in the contract we write something like require this function only called by the owner, or the function only work when you have that much of amount. So the function only work when the amount is true. So it's some mostly like something like that type of thing. So we have to try to break those things. So we can detect issue like many issues you can find out in that techniques like a balance, inconsistent reentrancy, denial of service, and most of the attack techniques you can find out. And also you can help this technique is really showing you logic error stuff also. So the invariant based fuzzing is very important things and very good to securing your application. And the last not the least is hybrid fuzzing. Hybrid fuzzing is combining multiple fuzz technique for higher efficiency, use a coverage guide, and mutation-based approaches. So it's mostly enhanced to bug discovery in a complex smart contract stuff. So conclusion for this video is fuzzing is essential for securing smart contract. Different technique address different vulnerability. It doesn't mean that you have to use only one things or this only attack techniques. You only need to do you have to do every step to secure vulnerability. It's like if you do more tests, the vulnerability show more. Okay, so it's a combining method provide the best result. There are many tools like Echidna. Echidna is also Python-based tools, but when you write the code you also use this. If you know the Solidity, the Echidna Foundry is very good, but we are in Python programmer, so we're using the Python libraries like PyTest or random library to use the fuzzing more effective. So in the next video, I'm going to show you practical based on those stuff. So see you around. Bye bye.